Hello students, this is Sachin sir welcoming you all to part 3 video of trigonometry. In today's lecture, we will try to understand how to use trigonometric identities to show or to prove the equality. So let's get started with the first question which is there on your screen, right? Children, there are two ways to prove these equalities. First of all, you begin with LHS. Okay, you operate on LHS. Presently over here it is seen on the screen, and after the operation you should reach the right hand side. That is the first way. And second way, you solve LHS in few steps and also solve RHS in few steps. If both the steps are matching each other, you can say the equality is done. I mean to say you have proved the equality. But presently over here we will begin with LHS and we will try to reach the RHS. Okay, so on the screen if you observe the question, that means LHS, you will come to know that here we have one fraction and next to it we have a normal number, okay, normal term, right? And sir taught you LCM method. If you are not familiar with the LCM method, then you should go and watch part 2 of trigonometry. There I have explained you in detail. Presently we will use LCM method, in which we will multiply this base, I mean to say denominator, with the numerator of the other one, right? And we get sine square alpha plus cos square alpha the whole upon cos alpha, right? Now in the further step, if you observe again, you will come to know that in the numerator we have one identity. That is the first identity we had proved in part 2 video. Okay, so we have to replace that identity and write 1 over there. We get 1 upon cos alpha, and if you focus on your RHS, it is sec alpha, and sec alpha is nothing but the reciprocal of cos alpha. It means that 1 upon cos alpha is nothing but sec alpha. That means you have reached the RHS and your first sum is done, my dear. So in the first sum we started with the LHS, we reached to RHS, okay, only within 2 steps. Always keep it in mind boys and girls, if you are not able to get first push to begin the sum, always turn all the terms into sine and cos. That is the first way. And second way, think about the basic arithmetic operation or basic mathematical operation. Okay, in this way, in this sum we did with the LCM method in that manner. So let's move on with the second question, which is there on your screen, right? Over here, if you observe the question again, the way I told you, we will begin with the LHS and we'll try to reach the RHS. LHS over here presently is in front of you, right? There are two ways to begin the sum. I told you, think about the basic operations, right? Mathematical operation. Over here, presently I'm gonna coin one term, that is fountain method. If you have a bracket and a term outside the bracket, you have to multiply that full bracket with the term. That is one method, correct? And that means cos square alpha into 1 and then cos square alpha into tan square alpha. Okay, that is the one method. And in second method, if you observe more closely in detail and if you are able to visualize the term exactly what I wanted to see, then you will come to know we have one identity here, right? So first of all, we will replace that identity, correct? What is the answer of it? Sec square alpha, right? And now we have in all cos square alpha into sec square alpha, right? I need to now little bit observe your RHS. We have 1 in the RHS. So what we must do to get the RHS? If you think more closely, more in deep, you will come to know what we got over here, cos and sec, which are reciprocal of each other. That means I can replace either sec alpha by 1 upon cos alpha or cos alpha with 1 upon sec alpha. I choose sec square alpha, right? And if I replace it, I get 1 upon cos square alpha because square sign is given to sec square alpha above. Now it is easier to cancel that term. See over here, if you think again, we have one fraction, we have one normal number, and it is a multiplication sign. In multiplication sign we can cancel the numerator and denominator if it is possible, right? So cos square alpha will be cancelled out, and we get the ending result as 1, right? And moreover, the way I told you, if you multiply the product of two terms which are reciprocal of each other is always 1. So here only, at the second stage only, we should have come to the answer, correct? But to just explain in detail, I moved ahead with the one more step. Okay, always keep in mind, product of two reciprocal term is always 1. So we got the RHS by getting 1, right? And in this way, second sum is also done. So over here we have used second identity, correct? 1 plus tan square alpha is equal to sec square alpha. Whenever you use identity, my dear children, in this question you have to mention it, correct? Only then you will get full marks. Let's move on with the next question, third one. This is little bit tough. Okay, this is a new one. If you observe the question, you will come to know that we are given with the square root sign, and my first target will be to remove that square root sign from the LHS. Okay, and to remove that square root sign, we will use conjugate term of the denominator. Sir said it is very important to remove the square root sign from the LHS, correct? And to remove that sign, we will use conjugate of the denominator. First of all, write the LHS written. Now, writing the conjugate means what? Writing the conjugate means which sign is seen in the denominator, it is plus. We will write same terms but with the opposite sign. That means 1 minus sin alpha. I hope you are understanding the terms. Okay. Multiply numerator and denominator by conjugate of the denominator, which is that denominator 1 plus sin alpha, and what will be its conjugate? 1 minus sin alpha. See, you can see on the screen. So 1 minus sin alpha, that conjugate is written in the product, correct? And after that, whatever sir is going to tell you now, do not forget that part, because I'm going to give you one more sum with the same condition. At that time you should feel confident enough to solve it. Okay, if you observe numerator over here, you will come to know that both the brackets have same sign. If both the brackets have same sign, it means that I can turn it into 1 minus sin alpha the whole square, correct? 1 minus sin alpha the whole square. Okay, and if you observe the denominator, you will come to know that two brackets with the same term and opposite sign. What I said, two brackets with the same terms, 1 sin alpha, but with the opposite sign. One bracket consists plus, another bracket consists minus. That means it is nothing but one identity that I'm going to write on the screen. 1 a minus b, a plus b, that results in a square minus b square, correct? You must remember and you must apply this identity to get the answer correct, right? Now see further steps. As I told you, in the numerator we have written bracket square, and the denominator we have used that identity a square minus b square is the ending result of it, right? So over here on the screen, in the denominator 1 square is written. That 1 square is nothing but afterwards it will be 1, correct? And as a result in the denominator we get 1 minus sin square alpha, right? After making this square we get 1, that results in 1 minus sin square alpha, right? And this sin square alpha is nothing but cos square alpha. And how we can say this is cos square alpha? If you observe the identity, over here, yes, and shift this sin square alpha towards the 1, we get 1 minus sin square alpha, and on the LHS cos square is remaining as it is, correct? So you can say 1 minus sin square alpha is nothing but cos square alpha, and that only term I have used in the next part, in the next step I mean to say. And see here, bracket square, check over here, single term square, and now I can remove the square root. In between over here, in between these steps you are not supposed to take out the square root until and unless you make a single term in the denominator, that I have done as a cos square alpha by utilizing identity, and above in the numerator we should have bracket square or again single term. So bracket square we got, so it now it is valid to remove the square root. Clear? And as a result we got, after removing the square root, the square sign from the numerator and the denominator will be removed, and we get 1 minus sin alpha upon cos alpha. Right? Now the next step is splitting the terms. How? In the numerator we have only 1 minus sin alpha, so 1 upon the, and cos alpha in the denominator as a single term, it goes to both the terms in the numerator. So we have 1 upon cos alpha minus sin, as it is sin alpha upon cos alpha. And if you remember the relation, trigonometric relation that we learnt in the first video, you will come to know that 1 upon cos alpha is nothing but sec alpha, and sin alpha upon cos alpha is nothing but the tan alpha. And as a result we have reached actually our RHS. Correct? Can you observe sec alpha minus tan alpha in the RHS of the question, and here also we got the same, and hence we can say both the sides are equal now. So here also we have utilized one identity again, sin square alpha plus cos square alpha equals to 1, by doing certain adjustment in it, and equality is proved by us. I hope it is clear to you. My dear children, if you have any doubt, you are free to ask and mention it in the comment section, so that next time I can clear it out. Let's move on with the fourth question. Fourth question is the easiest question what I feel. The question is, it is in front of you. Why to waste time? Now presently over here, the way I told you, we have to move from LHS to RHS. Write the LHS side. Now try to observe the sum. I told you we have to begin with the basic mathematical operation, right? Or if you are not able to crack which operation or which is the logically correct method to operate, correct, then you have to turn all the terms in the LHS in sin and cos, and then move on. You will come to know which are the steps. Ultimately you will come to know. The moment you will see the steps or the terms in front of you, immediately it will go on clicking you what to do and what to not. Now presently over here we have the way I told you, sec alpha minus cos alpha and cot alpha plus tan alpha, and in the RHS I need to prove only tan and sec. So as I need only tan alpha and sec alpha in the RHS, so my first step what I chose to remove all other terms from the LHS. So which are those other terms? Cos alpha and cot alpha. I thought, is there any relation before starting this question? One must think, is there any relation between cot and tan, cos and sec, or among them, so that we can remove them or replace them with the tan and sec, as we need only tan alpha and sec alpha in the RHS, right? So as a result, I know cos alpha is the reciprocal of sec alpha, so cos alpha is turned into sec alpha by writing its reciprocal as a reciprocal, and cot alpha again it is a reciprocal of tan alpha, and you can see on the screen what is written, correct? Over here again the basic mathematical step is LCM method, fraction plus number and number minus fraction. In the both step we have to make the denominator equal, and for that we will use LCM method the way I taught you in the previous video. As a result, sec alpha will be multiplied with the sec alpha, and tan alpha will be multiplied by tan alpha, and the ending result of it will be is written on the screen, right? Now observe the numerator, my dears. Now in the numerator we got again a part of identity, right? What is the identity? 1 plus tan square alpha equals to sec square alpha, and if you do little adjustment in the question, in the identity, you will come to know that this one over here, sec square alpha minus 1 is nothing but tan square alpha. You have to just move this 1 to the sec square alpha, and you will come to know that sec square alpha minus 1 is nothing but tan square alpha. And this is the normal identity, 1 plus tan square alpha is nothing but the sec square alpha, and just replace them with the proper values, and you will get a further push to solve the sum, correct? Check it out. After replacing, you will come to know that we got two fractions with the multiplication sign between them, and sir told you whenever there are two fractions with the multiplication sign, you have to do numerator into numerator and then denominator into denominator, right? And if you can cancel the terms in the numerator and denominator, you can go ahead. Just you cannot cancel terms which are aside to each other. Keep it in mind. So presently that tan square alpha can be written as tan alpha into tan alpha, and similarly it goes with the sec alpha also. And after that we can cancel the terms in the numerator and the denominator, right? So presently I have cancelled them, you can observe on the screen, and only two terms are remaining, and those two terms are nothing but tan alpha and sec alpha. That means our RHS is clearly proved by us, and hence the sum is done. Clear? The way I told you in the previous sum. If you have any doubt, any problem, you can ask me. Just drop it down in the comment section so that I can read and solve your doubts. Let's move on with the next question. The next question is again the simplest one. This is the easy. See, I told you very first, if you are not able to think any step or any arithmetic operation or mathematical operation to operate on the LHS, I told you to turn all the terms in the LHS into the sine and cos. Correct? See here we have cot alpha plus tan alpha, and I don't think any relation is possible, any mathematical operation is possible to operate on them to go to get the cosec alpha and sec alpha. Correct? Because even we cannot use identity, because in identity we require each term as a square of it. Correct? Tan square, sec square, then cot square, and so on. Right? So what is the step we need to follow over here? Just turn this cot alpha and tan alpha into sine and cos. You will come to know what is the further push, and you know how to write this trigonometric function. Correct? If not, first video of mine. Okay. Now presently again we got, see, immediately after turning them into the sine and cos ratio, you will come to know that fraction plus fraction, and whenever we have fraction plus fraction, we have to follow the LCM method, and during that LCM method we will multiply cos alpha into cos alpha, sin alpha into sin alpha, and then again multiplication of sin alpha into cos alpha, right? If you are remembering it. So let's move on, operate it, and we get cos square alpha and plus sin square alpha in the numerator, and that gives us a next push as an identity, right? In the numerator we got the identity, and we are gonna write it. You know what is the answer of that identity, right? And that answer is nothing but the 1, right? Correct? And what you can see on the screen now, we have 1 upon sin alpha, and again 1 upon cos alpha, and that 1 upon sin alpha and 1 upon cos alpha can be replaced with the again trigonometric relation. We know that 1 upon sin alpha is equal to cosec alpha, if you remember the first video, and 1 upon cos alpha equals to sec alpha, and just we have to replace them with the proper terms, and our sum is done. This is the identity that we used, and 1 upon sin alpha, and that means this one, only this part is giving you answer the cosec alpha, and again this part is giving you the answer sec alpha, and hence our sum is finished. We have proved the equality. I hope I'm making it very clear to you. The steps and what made me choose that step, that is the important thing to be learned by you. Okay, and apply it after finishing the lecture. I mean to say, solve the sums, right? Now let's move on with the next question. Next question is, yes, observe the LHS and RHS both. In the LHS we have 1 upon sec alpha minus tan alpha, and the RHS sec alpha plus tan alpha, and if you observe these two terms, you will come to know that they are nothing but conjugate of each other. Correct? Say we have sec alpha minus tan alpha minus sine, and there we have plus sine with the same terms. That means they are conjugate of each other, and when we require conjugate terms, okay, as a result, correct, then there's a one step we need to follow. Write the LHS first, same pattern, and multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate. And so sec alpha minus tan alpha, the conjugate of it will be sec alpha plus tan alpha, right? And mention it. Clear? If you observe the denominator now, presently over here, two brackets with the opposite term, two brackets with the opposite sign, two brackets with the opposite sign and same terms will give you identity a square minus b square as a ending result. Correct? We have done this in the previous sums also. So turn it into that proper identity. Correct? Then that identity is, always keep it in mind, whenever we have a plus b, and a minus b, we always choose minus bracket to mention the identity. Keep it in mind, we always choose minus bracket to mention the identity. Don't forget this part. Okay. And now if you observe the denominator, we have sec square alpha minus tan square alpha, and observe this identity now. Basic identity is 1 plus tan equals to sec, and then to turn them, I just shifted tan alpha towards the sec alpha, and I got the same term which are there in the denominator, right? So we can replace this denominator by writing 1 instead of it, by writing its value, and we remain with the numerator only, because 1 in the denominator is almost negligible. Correct? And as you can see, we are left with only sec alpha plus tan alpha, and that is what we were needed to prove, and that is RHS. I hope I made every step clear to you. If not, you can inform me in the comment section below, so that I can choose another step, or I can make another